So let's begin. When Constantine accepted Christianity, he wanted to appease the pagans because Christianity would then become the religion of Rome. The Romans were worshipers of a sun god, and they worshiped the sun as a god. So since Jesus was called the Son, S-O-N, of God, they tried to incorporate sun worship with the worship of Jesus as the Son of God. Let's see how this works. They said Jesus was born on the 25th day of December. But the scripture says there were shepherds abiding in the field, tending their flock by night. In Palestine, in December, it's cold. The sheep are in the barn. Shepherds are not out in December, but they're out in September, October. Then who is this that was born in December? The sun worshipers saw the sun leaving them because the days were getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and when it got to the 21st of December, which is called the winter solstice, the sun appears to stand still, and it's the shortest day of the year. So the sun worshipers said that that time when the sun stands still and begins its journey back toward us, where the days start getting longer, they called it the birth of the sun. So they burn a Yule log, and they have a holly wreath which is round, looking like the sun. And then if you go, I think it's in the book of Jeremiah, around the 10th chapter, it says they go in the forest and they cut down a tree and they deck it with silver and with gold. What do you do on Christmas time? You let them sell you a tree and you put it up in your living room and you dress it down with tinsel and you put a little balls on the branches of the tree. These balls represent the sun. And then you put candlelight in your window, which represent the sun. So you are sun worshipers. You are really pagans calling yourself Christian. Now, around March the 21st, somewhere between the last part of March and early April, we get what is called the vernal equinox, where the sun is in a certain position relative to the earth. And when the sun and the earth are in this certain position, winter ends and spring begins. And when spring comes, it is marked by the springing to life of the earth after its death in winter. The sap begins to rise in the trees, and the trees begin to bud, and flowers begin to come out of the tree, right? On the tree and on the bushes. So you have your Easter bonnet with little flowers on it. And you feel springy. And you go out on your Easter parade. What is the significance of a rabbit? Because the rabbit is one of the fastest producers of babies. So the rabbit is used for Easter to show that spring has sprung and life has come back into the earth after its death. And as the sap rises in the tree, you find nature beginning to take its course. And so you, as a female, in your parade, in your new garment, telling the boys, I'm ready. Spring has sprung. Do you have a spring to spring on this which has sprung? So really, it's the worship of the goddess of fertility or fecundity or love. Let's go to the board a minute. Brothers, quick moving, fast thinking, cleanliness in and out, right down to the modern time. Anybody slow moving is not with us. Now, you call this day? No. Is that right? Who is the goddess of fertility? What is her name? Her name is Astarte. So when the pagans were worshiping the goddess of fertility, which means that they had these sexual orgies and whatnot during this time, then when Christianity became the religion of Rome, not wanting to give up their paganism, they began to incorporate sun worship into the worship of Jesus Christ as the Son of God. Now, why resurrection? Since he didn't stay in no grave, from Friday to Sunday is not 3 days. But the scripture says 3 days. So there's meaning to the 3 days. There's meaning to the resurrection. There's meaning to the sacrifice of life. There's meaning to the birth, ministry, death, and resurrection of Jesus. Now I think we need to find out what that meaning is.